Okay, so it's Mamelodi Sundowns 1, Ulsan HD 0. And it's $2 million in the kitty for Sundowns. Wow.
Oh my God.
A brilliant game by the Sundowns. And we need to discuss that is Mustafa Jinodi. You guys are
All
watching
right, South
football.
Africa. Even though we're from Nigeria, I even have Black Label with me now. It's not really Black Label. Let's pretend it's Black Label. I'm a
Yeah.
Sundowns fan. So please, Sundowns fans, keep signing and subscribing to our show because our show has you sent us a message from South Africa and especially from Sundowns
Sure.
with 28 subscriptions for our last post about Sundowns. We're going to keep putting content for you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get to the game. So, very good game. What stood out to me was that the coach brought in controversially he brought Zwane back in because Zwane has been playing well, and Zwane had a brilliant game, had a lot of touches in combination with Mokwena, and who was on the left for midfield. But him and Mokwena did a lot. Mokwena dropped back a lot, almost like Mokwena almost played a little bit like a CDM, get the ball passing to the extent that this team had almost 700 passes during the game to about 200 for Ulsan. So the midfield did a very good job. Zwane did well. And a lot of people said, oh, he only brought Zwane because they put pressure on him. But the coach said that Zwane has been looking in form and practice, so he made the right decision. What do you think?
I quite agree with you. In fact, I was particularly impressed with the Sundowns. I mean, the first 25 minutes of the game, they dominated possession. They absolutely played the Ulsan, the Korean team, off the park. I didn't know that they were so good at keeping the ball. That's Sundown,
What's good about
especially
their passing is exquisite.
yeah,
Yeah.
the passing is exquisite, short, neat, tidy passing. The only problem was that whenever they get to the final third, they were not so
Yeah.
efficient. That
They don't
killer
have speed.
Yes, that killer instinct and that finishing, that clinical touch wasn't quite there, but they dominated the game very, very well.
Yeah, because
Particularly
they had
Ikram,
14 shots on goal and only
yeah,
two
yeah,
on
14
14
shots
shots, but only
on
two on
target.
target. Yeah, yeah,
14 shots on target. So Ikram Reyners was the one who scored for them on the 36th
yeah,
minute. He played
yeah.
very well. Dove
It was a run of play. Yeah,
Yes, yes, it was combining well with Lucas Ribeiro, the Brazilian. And if you look at the goal too, Temba Zwane had a hand in it in the build-up to the goal.
yeah.
Like
The build up on the right.
Cardozo has a very, very well, drilled team. The
Yeah,
touch is neat and organized. The only problem was they had a bit some panicky moments due to some, carelessness in defense. But if they can work
yeah.
on that, I don't see them having any
And they need
problem
to
in
be
this
very
tournament.
careful
And they need
when
to be careful. But it's a
when
good thing they
Bertha
have
Demont,
gotten 3 points already.
yeah, when Bertha Demont starts overlapping and using their wingers
Yes.
and overlapping, they're
Yeah.
going to have to do a lot better on defense. But I think they might still be able to beat not beat Bertha Demont, but they might still be able to hold the ball more. But holding the
Yeah.
ball doesn't equate to scoring because Rayner scored, but when you look at Rayner, he's not really a true number nine. He can only score on the run of play or facing the net. He's not going to turn around or bully. And he didn't have big defenders that's bullying him. He has those small boys from Busan, those Asian guys are big. So the problem I see for South Africa, I mean not for South Africa, for Sundowns, is goal generation. They're going to do better with finishing and find ways to break down Borussia Dortmund's defense. But overall, a fantastic game. 92% pass accuracy, fantastic. 700 passes, 68%, and 14 shots on goal, two on target. So they just need to work on that. They almost got to go from a corner with
Yeah.
Rand. Did you see that? But it was where it hit his head and his chest. I don't know what happened. They just allowed one goal that he scored. But yeah, that's a good game. So they get how much? $2 million.
Yeah, $2 million. That was about
How
36
much money?
million
They get 2 million
rand.
for that
36
game, right?
million
That's all I
rand.
believe.
Yeah. What do you say?
Yeah. Let me change my thing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
I'm back
Sure.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to note about the game or about the upcoming games for them?
Yes,
Yeah.
one area where I want them to improve, they conceded 9 corner kicks. Against Borussia Dortmund, that could prove costly because Borussia
Yeah.
Dortmund would take more advantage from set pieces.
They're
And
taller
then,
and bigger.
yeah, they're taller and bigger. So And then the physical domination of the South Koreans may not be as easy against Dortmund because Dortmund too is quite physical. So they need to watch out for those areas. But
Yeah.
I think they can actually dominate Dortmund too. I don't want them to sit back and play on the counter attack against Dortmund. I think they should be brave and try and
Oh, they
improve
should go out.
their
Yeah,
game.
they should go out.
They should go
I have a
all
feeling
out
it could be a high scoring game if they can finish. If they can finish,
if they
it
can
could be
finish
like 3-2.
exactly.
But I still have Dortmund winning. But I say that it's not impossible for them to beat Dortmund, to be honest with the way they distribute the ball. Let me
Sure.
tell you, if I'm just if Sundowns had a striker like Osimhen, they could be one of
Yeah.
the best teams, and not they could have won the African Championship easily.
Sure.
So
Sure.
South Africa Sundowns needs to get themselves a real number 9. The problem is that if they get a real number 9, it's going to mess up the fluidity because they're a passing team. But they need to find ways to get. So even if you don't have a true number 9, they need to find ways to exploit and break down defenses with their
Yeah.
passing so that they have easier shots at goal. Yeah. Yeah. So but
And
in
that's
general
one
they had
area, and that's one
Mhm.
area where I think Dortmund has a slight advantage. You know that Guinean striker Girassi, very
Yeah.
physical. He's going to give the South African defenders a torrid time. He's really very physical. That Girassi.
Yeah, from Senegal. No, where's he from? He's from Mali or somewhere.
Yeah,
Where
either Mali or Guinea.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. Who's that other guy that scores a lot of goals that's from Mali? The one that scores all these goals. Is it Girassi? No. Gise. Is he the one that scores all the
It's
goals? Yeah.
Girassi. It's Girassi. Dortmund. He plays for
Yeah.
Dortmund.
He's
Yeah.
one of the most prolific strikers in the
Yeah.
world now.
Yeah.
Pure power in number 9.
Sure.
So that's going to be a problem. Yeah. So I think he might be the difference, but we'll wait and see.
You
So
know,
the Sundowns
we
fans,
saw him against Barcelona now. He gave Barcelona a torrid time.
yeah. When is the game? What day is the game?
I think it's on Saturday. I'm not sure. I need to confirm.
Saturday. So we'll be back for a post show on Sunday. To our fans from South Africa, and specifically our fans from Mamelodi Sundowns, because the rest of the South Africans hate us now, especially Pirates fans, because we're shouting about Sundowns, right? And we can't wait to see Brazilians versus Brazilians.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's all right. So take us out, Afalabi. Yeah.
It's been another brilliant football show. We have been celebrating Sundowns who beat Ulsan HD 1-0. And we're rooting for them again in the second game against Borussia Dortmund. From myself and Mustafa, we'll be back again probably on Sunday.
Thank you. So we'll see you talk later.